Good morning. How's everyone doing? So I have a project that I started a bit ago and life's happened, right? And I've been away. And so we're going to go back to it. It's called, I'm going to the Go Bold Fabric Cafe. Oops, I think I'm a little wonky here. Go Bold Fabric Cafe 3-yard quilts. And we are going to make the center one, which is called Modern Art. So we're going to open to page 15. And can't give you measurements, but here it is. So let me show you what it looks like. Let me go grab it. I just put it right here. We will be making these blocks right here. And let's see what they call the blocks on page. Okay, so this one is block A and this one is block B. So we're going to be working on those. So in this, I'm using fat quarters that I had, and I fussy cut. So this here would be anything where you see a fussy cut. That's my fabric 1. So this is fabric 1, that's fabric 1, and that's fabric 1. Then my fabric 2 is my light, and my fabric 3 is my dark. So I use around about 1 yard of fussy cut squares for fabric 1. For the focal fabric, which is fabric 1. Just wanted to go over that for some of us who are new. And then I have my pieces here. So let me go ahead and turn on my iron and let's get sewing. So when we look at this pattern, it's very detailed, and they give you also some diagrams. So we are going to, since I did fussy cutting, I had to kind of figure out what size my squares were. So I can't even really give you that size. So what I'm going to do is take my square. This is my focal fabric, right? Fabric 1. And I am going to go ahead and put my strips on. And if you were using a 1-yard cut, you would just make a lot of strip assemblies. But we're not making strip assemblies today, as I am fussy cutting some Tula Pink. I wanted when I did this and not use 1 yard of one single Tula Pink, because I really wanted to make sure that I got the exact frame of this. Being that it is called modern art, right? We're gonna modernize, and we want our art to be in a nice frame. So we're basically kind of making a frame around a piece of art. So here I go. I go ahead and put my top and bottom pieces. And I would have this. And so when you make a strip assembly, you would be cutting right units that now measure this. I'm going to now put the sides on there. Whoops, so I just dropped everything. We will put the sides on there. Now I have little design boards that of course I can put everything out on, and I did when I first did it for myself to keep myself organized. But you do what works best for you, because you're the artist here right now. I'm going to put that. And I am also sewing everything 1/4 of an inch or scant 1/4 of an inch, whichever you feel comfortable sewing. And I'm going to come in here, oops, and press this out. And because I started this project a bit ago, I'm just going to look on how I pressed everything. So yes, so that's how I pressed everything here, where everything is like that. All right. And now I'm going to go to my next step. So we have that. Tight in here today. I don't know what happened to my table. I think it shifted. So the next part we are going to do is we are going to put one of these. So I have this here. We're going to put this piece at the bottom, flip it up, and that is exactly in step 2. So in your book on block A assembly, we're working on step 2, which is putting this bottom piece. It tells you exactly what the bottom piece should measure. So we're going to do that. I don't know about you, but quilting to me is like a puzzle. So we're going to take this piece here, press it, and press it. And we are going to press this down. Now, Fabric Cafe doesn't give you pressing directions because they press everything open. But I like to, in some cases I do have to press things open. But when I can press from one side or the other side so that everything interlocks and nests, I try to do that. So that's this part of it. So now we're going to make our little mini square. So I'm going to take my square. I'm going to add, where it happened? Okay, I'm going to add the side to this. This is way too long, this side. So I'm going to have to trim this after. I don't know why I did that. Let's see if there's another smaller piece. Nope. All right. Come in here. And this is real time. So I'm kind of showing you things real time. Now I'm going to open. And in this case, I am going to press this. Out. This is such a small piece, I'm going to eyeball it and just cut it off. There you go, you have that. Now the next piece that we're going to put on here, let me look at it, double check myself. Yep, I'm going to put this piece now onto here. And I am also going to press this. So now this is the back of your piece right here. Wait, let's see, did I do that right? Double check. Yes, so I have this piece going that way. Yes, so I did. I always like to double check myself. It's important to double check yourself at some points so that this looks the same. Correct. So now I'm going to put the top piece. It'll show you right in the directions how to do that. And this here and the book is step Unit C assembly. And this is how we finish the Unit C assembly. So we're going to put that, line everything up. If you are a pinner, go for it. You do you. And then we are going to press this up. So it looks like that. So both seams are going up. After doing that, we're going to take our lion block little piece and we're going to put it to the right. Now this is where I do press, and if you press the way I explained and showed, everything will nest. So I go ahead and put a pin there. I put a pin at my end piece, and I put a pin at my beginning piece. And again, it's up to you whether you want a pin or not. I just find For me, this is easier at this point. Sorry, I didn't have that completely there. All right, now this is where it gets fishy. So when I put this quilt together, I go ahead and depending on when I put it in the rows, which way. So, you know, all my seams will go one way in one row and another way in another row so that everything interlocks. In this case, the row that I'm working on, I would have to actually have my seam go towards this big block. So this is something that you just have to kind of check where you're at and how you like to set your rows. And yes, identical. I just want to make sure that we are identical. Yes. So this is the row that I'm working on. So we have our block. Now we're going to work on our next block. And if you could see right here, everything meets. And now we are going to work on the next one. I'll put this down here. And we have this block here and this piece here. So I'm going to take this piece and this piece, and I'm going to sew this together. And I could have made a strip assembly for that piece and then cut, but I didn't. So in this case, I'm pressing to the light in this case. And now I'm going to take my elephant, put that on there. Line it up carefully and go for it. Now again, this is a super simple pattern using 3 1-yard cuts. I complicated it by wanting to fussy cut my Tula. And so this one now has to go down. So all my seams go down. So in this case, you're going to press to the skinny piece right there. So that this way your seams are all going in one direction, down. And then how we're going to do this is we are going to take our skinny piece, and this skinny piece is in block B step 1. It tells you the exact size you need. And we are going to put this. Now when I'm showing you this, I'm just showing you what I'm doing because they have very clear, concise directions, but I am doing something a little different with their pattern. You're welcome to do this how you see fit. My channel is more about ideas of doing things, changing things up, using scraps in a regular pattern. So we have that. And this is what it will look like, the back. And we set this aside and let's work on our little piece. So I had already sewn the little dark piece to the little square, and now I'm going to sew the other piece, the big rectangle, on top of there. And when we press, we're going to press this towards towards the light so that all these seams go up. And here you go. And you see both seams are going up. We are going to put these together this way. And again, I start and pin at the end here. And then I come in here and see if this kind of follows this. So I kind of bend it over to make sure that this is following this line to the best that I can. You can do it by just taking also a ruler to make sure that it's a continual line, even though it's 2 pieces, which it is. And then I will throw and pop a pin right there. And then I will come here at the end and pop a pin at the end here. And pop a pin here. There you go. And in this case, I ran out of bobbin thread. I love chicken bobbin, or bobbin chicken, whatever it is. Let me put a new one in. So I have some gray thread going on in here. And let's come on in. And set this again. I just cut all these little strings off now. I'm going to press. And then I am going to, where is this gonna go? This is gonna be pressed towards our skinny piece. So towards the dark in this case. Right now. So it will look like this, and then it will look like that. Perfect. Now we're going to have our blocks, and we are going to bring our blocks over to the design wall. So here we go. I'm going to move you all and unveil what's going on at the design wall. There we go. So my quilt top has been put together. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there'll be 6 down. If you notice, there's some green lions and orange lions and blue elephants and pink elephants. This is the Tula line. I came in and did that portion already. So that's gonna go in. And then these are my new ones that I made. And this one is gonna come here. And then this one is going to come over here. And then what I will be doing is I will be taking these 2 and sewing these 2 blocks together, putting them aside, and then these blocks are already sewn. So now let's go back to our machine. And let's put this row together. So I'm going to come in here. I look at my rows. I do pin here. I want to make sure everything's lying flat. See, that's nesting perfectly. And we're going to go right in. And let's see. Yep. And we are going to sew all the way down. And if you're new to my channel, I guess I sew in my PJs. That's my thing. I sew in my PJs. I'm just an ordinary person just like you. Quilter who likes to quilt in her PJs or in her work clothes, whatever it may be, or even her vacation clothes. Here we are. I come in. You can always slow down. Now, as I stated, when I put this quilt together, the seams go one way or another. So all the seams are going this way. So I'm going to come in here. And you see right here, when I put these two together, this made one cohesive line. So everything is hitting this way. So we're going to now we're going to take this, put it back to our design wall, make sure everything looks right, and then we're going to add this last row to the whole quilt here. So here's the quilt. I put all my pieces in, and I come in here, and everything should nest properly. So right there, that nested. Sorry, my camera went wonky. I don't know if you guys noticed that, or is it just me? So everything should nest, and this is perfect because you can throw your pins right where it nests. You can pin as little, you can pin as much as you want. You don't have to pin at all. It's your quilt. You do what makes you happy. And if you press the seam wrong in one way, just fix it. It happens. Did I do that right? Yep. And I come in here and pin my last one. And now you've seen a whole how I pin my rows to get them ready to sew. Come in here 1/4 inch. And then after I'm done with this, we'll discuss about borders. This quilt in the book has 2 borders, and we as well are going to put 2 borders. The only thing that we're going to do different is that the borders I'm using are much larger borders than what's in the book. So that's the great thing about these quilts. You can make the borders however you want. You can make them like the book or bigger. I'm making it bigger because this will be a nice comfy quilt, and I want someone to have a little bit more of a bigger quilt than the one that's in the book. And the way to do that is by extending your borders. And we are almost done here. Not to get sloppy at the end. So we have our last row in, and I'm going to put this up on my design wall here, and I'm going to spin you around. I wish I had one of those motion detector cameras. So we have it. It's up. All our rows are there. I will have to iron it before I put the borders. That's my personal preference. So in the book, you use your, I think it's fabric 2. We're going to put those in. I'm just going to show you real quick what it looks like. All right. Got that. And then, and you would put those also on the bottom. And then my second border. My second border is literally double the size of what they have in the book. So that's what we would be looking at. Here we go. Put this other one here. It's a very long piece. And the same thing would go on the top as well. So that's what I will be working on. So thank you for joining me today. Again, this came out of the Fabric Cafe Go Bold 3-yard quilts. And we made this one using Tula fabric and fussy cutting our pieces. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Please take care of yourself. Pass it forward, and please like, subscribe. Please give me the thumbs up. That helps me out so much. Comment. There's a little bell notification that tells you when I upload a new video. I just, you know what? I'm doing this. I love it. I love quilting. I just want to bring my joy of quilting to you. So if you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.